Yeah, you're done warming up.
Yeah.
That means green.
Alright guys, welcome to the Bull Ring. Episode
you
number 7. No, I don't know what episode it is.
I actually also don't know what it is.
But it doesn't matter. Welcome to the Bull Ring.
Welcome back, guys. Yeah, so like I said, we're going to try and bring out as much as possible during these 2 weeks of the 2 shows. But today we are training chest and delts. For me, it's still a deload approach. But we are training with the one and only Wandi pumps, protein pump. The next, the new. Basically you're gonna, when you come back, it's gonna be dangerous, bro. So it's
so when I do the work that's required, but I'm just happy to be training with you again, bro.
As we haven't trained together for so long, purely because work, life, and being in prep and having different splits, having different approaches, being in different phases of our journeys in bodybuilding. So I mean, being 1.5 weeks out, actually 1 week out basically, and being in a proper off-season building tissue, 2 different phases. So, but when we link up proper.
Yeah, and I think it's also just crazy because we trained together for so long, like every single day, similar splits, similar phases for the entire first year of that off-season, which was obviously like last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm just buzzing to train with you again.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, very true what he said. He has played a massive role, not only like physically but mentally and mature wise. The last year and a half that we've known each other, let's call it a year and a half.
Feels like eternity.
Feels like eternity. But that is the connection that we have. We actually competed against each other a few years ago in the junior ranks. He beat me. Anyway, yeah. But now we are like brothers, and now
we are brothers.
We are brothers, and we push each other. And I always told him that I'm his biggest fan when it comes to his physique.
And bro?
I'm his biggest fan. Like he knows it. When this guy comes back on stage with the amount of tissue that he's going to be putting on, and he's known for getting fucking shredded, thick skin shredded. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's pretty cool. That's normal. That's just us.
That's normal. It's
thick
us.
Skin peeled.
When he comes back peeled, I'm calling it now. What's it? Today is fucking, it's Easter. It's the 18th or the 19th of April, 2025. When he comes back next year, watch the space.
No pressure.
Getting that card.
No pressure.
Pressure is a privilege.
Pressure is.
So guys, we're gonna hit, like I said, chest and delts. And then, we are officially in peak week, basically. It's the Friday before the show, or Friday before the Saturday before peak week, however that works. So let's get it.
Let's go.
What a privilege to be here. Let's get it. Hello. Yeah, gotta constantly remind myself not to push with being in a deload. It's so frustrating, bro. Because it feels weird not having to push that hard out from a show. So constantly throughout the whole set, don't go to failure. So frustrating. Yeah, man. This music is not too loud. Anyway, explain to the people how you have been dealing with off-season thus far.
Yeah? Nah.
Like, no, what I actually mean is like, how have you been? Because I know at the start you struggled to balance the work with the amount of food that you need to consume.
Yeah, well.
What changed? Because I can see the changes already throughout these last couple of weeks.
Well, it's been like 11 days, thank you. But basically, it's just a case of like, obviously the off-season started beginning of last year, and it went very well in the beginning. Like titrating food up was easy, but then obviously, like I think throughout the year, if you don't stay like really focused, it's especially in an off season, it's easy to lose small little habits that end up just like leading to big habits kind of being fucked. So it was like between like meals, pretty much my main problem was Monday, Tuesday, like good, everything done. Wednesday, I'd severely like undereat, and I think it had to do with my approach or my attitude towards the rest day.
Yeah. Well, I remember we spoke about that last year as well when I was on like 6,000 calories.
Yeah.
For some reason, you treat a rest day as like you resting from training and dieting.
And diet, yeah.
That's not how it works.
It's okay. My stomach can take a rest too, and my mouth and my jaw. But obviously, it was just counterproductive. And then I kind of got to a point I was negotiating. I was trying to negotiate with Matt in my last check.
And he was like,
not this last check, but
he was
the one
like,
before.
Fuck you. No.
He literally gave me an 11-minute video saying, "Fuck you, no, like get your head out your ass, like you need to focus." And he did say, he was like, if the focus is completely changed and my aspirations with this is not where it is, then that's fine, but that needs to be said clearly,
communicated. Yeah.
But from what he understands and from everything we've spoken about, I'm not acting in line with the goals. So that's all I'm like focusing on doing, is just acting in line with the goals.
And now, if for anybody watching that's pushing high volumes of food and that's working a full-time job, because basically up until you're a very good pro and you get endorsement deals and sponsorship monthly allowances, all these salaries or whatever, that's basically what you'll be doing, is working a 9 to 5, trying to balance the sport, which is very hard, especially in South Africa. Okay, no, let's make it worldwide. Like, I don't want to specifically.
It's definitely worldwide.
I just think it's harder for us to go compete overseas because of the exchange rate and all that. But what would you say was the big thing that made the flip in these 11 days?
There was just certain things in the video that were just very true. Like, bro, it'd be very embarrassing to just be that guy, not even about other people, but also to myself. To be that guy that was like, yo, it could have been, or you could have, like, and also I think that probably stems a lot further, to be honest, because being in school, like, on my report cards, the word potential was always there. Potential, just potential, live up to potential. So it's kind of like a chip on my shoulder thing now, where I'm like for myself, I'm like, I don't want to be like having this shadow of potential following me. I just want to do everything I can to live up to.
Actually, not have I had it on the tip of my mouth, like, not think about the potential, but be the potential and live the potential. Like, it's one thing hearing from people that you've got the genetics, you've got the structure, you've got the shape, you've got the everything, you've got this, you've got the that, but then you don't live up to it purely because of a lack of preparation or a lack of
literally a lack of preparation.
Or I would say in my case, right, and you can correct, I would say it's a lack of belief in my case. A lack of that self-confidence, because we've spoken about it. I'm the type of person that when I pursued cricket and I pursued rugby and I was very good at both, I had constant weekly evidence that I am who I say I am in that sport. I performed every weekend. I made provincial teams, made like all these kind of teams, made varsity teams. I had evidence to show that I am the type of player that I say I am. Whereas with bodybuilding, because it's such a marathon sport, you don't compete every weekend. You don't win every show to show that you are the best, right? And at the end of the day, there can only be one Mr. Olympia. But there are thousands, millions of great bodybuilders that could be Mr. Olympia, but there can only be one. So in my opinion, my problem is the self-belief and the self-confidence in my own abilities with bodybuilding, even though I've heard it from people that are very close to me and that opinions I hold in a high regard tell me that I've got what it takes. But I need to believe it, right? And it's the same thing with you on the potential side of things.
I think I actually hear what you're saying. That makes a lot of sense. It's like I need to just keep my actions in line with what my belief is. And when you're not executing, clearly you're leaning towards the side of you don't believe. So yeah, definitely. I think it's, and I believe. So I'm forced in a corner where I just have to
bring the bring the action with the belief kind of a thing. Yeah,
100%. Just do it.
because I mean, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to think. Yeah, it's been good.
What up, bro? How you? Easy. One easy. Get it. Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, I'm gonna start working now.
Pretty cool. It's like I was Yoda, and this is you know.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
That shit. Also, peep this shit.
Yay! The Kraken. The Kraken. Wait, let me see if it's
Looking quite thick, my boy.
Come a bit closer with it.
Doesn't need to focus. Just focus on the muscle builders. Damn.
Hey,
Damn.
Team Pro Physique, Team Weight's coming.
Damn. Sorry, it's not yours head, eh?
Is it? Yeah, it's my set. Yeah, because I finished. Shout out to Wandi at My Fitness. This is probably the best pin-loaded chest press you will ever use.
Genuinely is.
Literally, not an over-exaggeration. It is literally the best.
Like, they just need to understand. I'm not capping when I say this.
You're not capping.
I love this thing.
Bro,
like, I'm not going to tell you a machine's nah if it's not nah, because you're going to go on it and you're going to be like,
yes,
Wandi, what?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If it's not nah, I'm going to keep quiet.
The nice thing about this is what I like is you can load it quite heavy, right? The range of motion it's a full range of motion. You know, some chest presses will stop at a certain point where this thing goes all the way back.
100%.
And what's nice is it converges slightly at the top, not all the way. It's just slight conversion.
Even if you check on the handles, like the chest press at the stop, the handles will be like here.
Yes.
Look at the handle design.
It's at the back. Yeah.
You featured in our video a lot of times already. How are you? Good. We heard you hurraying. we heard you hurraying in there. When they were getting things right. And then he was like filming. And then we just hear you, and he looks at me, and he looks at the door, and then he smiles, and I was like, "Get it? They got something right."
So Nicola is helping Craig and Lan with their wedding dance choreography, or whatever you say that word. That one. She's helping them with that. So yeah. Yeah, anyway, so yesterday after training, me and Nicola drive home, and I said to her, for the first time in like weeks, I actually feel normal, like I'm not fighting for my life every fucking second of the day, and I felt guilty of that. And she's like, no, that's not relax. Anyway, we get through that part, right? Then I mentioned to her that the show that we did, right?
Yeah.
That me and Wandi did a couple of years ago was also an eye candy.
October 2023.
October 2023. Yeah. When I I was so locked in for that prep and that show that I completely cut off a lot of people. And I mean, you learn through these preps, you learn through each prep. And then on the day of the show, I had this, like, I got the feeling I put up this facade of who I wanted to come across as, like this hard person, this guy that doesn't get phased, don't talk to me, I'm locked in, that kind of person, which I am to an extent, but not as bad, like, right? And went on stage, didn't enjoy it, got off stage, and I was just happy it was over. And I said to Nicola, my goal, and then we went for the post-show meal, and I was just very emotional and I was very down because I was more disappointed in myself that I didn't enjoy being on stage for the 2 minutes that I get up there after putting in the work that I did.
So much time,
right? And
so
then
much money, so much.
exactly, and then after the show, we go for a meal, and I'm so down and negative with myself because why didn't you enjoy it more? And at the start of this year and at the start of this prep, a lot of people have asked me, like, what is my goal? Like, obviously I train and I prep to win, and I prep to, like, win the show.
Yeah.
But that's out of my control.
Yeah.
So I said to Nicola yesterday that my goal for these shows and the remainder of the year is to be fully present when I'm on stage and when I'm backstage. So much so that when we go for a meal afterwards, I can just have a good time, laugh, not care about whether I got first place or last place. Why? Because that is in my control.
Yeah. It's also the only most fulfilling way to do this, dude. Like, I'm still in the grand scheme of things, like very early on in bodybuilding, but I can say I've engaged and encountered with this thing so deeply to, like, points where it was like just deeply obsessive and in ways that weren't beneficial. And the longer I do it, the more that I realize that bodybuilding shouldn't define any of us. It doesn't define us. It's a part of us, and we define our experience with bodybuilding. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. And I just do what I like.
And a few weeks ago, at the very early stages of prep, me and Wandi sat in the car and we had a conversation about, like, how you go through the work, you put in all the work, you do the cardio, you lift the weights, you eat the meals, do all that shit. But then on the day, you're in your shell, right? And that's what I do. I'm in my shell when I'm on stage. Instead of, like, coming out of my shell, smiling, interacting with the crowd, interacting with the judges, having a personality on stage, which is, I know I have got that, but for some reason that previous show I wasn't myself, because I wanted to come across as this hard person. And that's something you do very well. You come out of your shell. He comes out of his shell. He's smiling. He's hitting poses. He's interacting with the crowd. And that is something that I can take away from him and Pet. I've never seen Valsh on stage, so I can't really speak about that. But that is something I take away from you, is just that, just fucking enjoy it.
But bro, to be honest with you, like, it was, I think, the 28th of May, 2022. And it was also like an eye candy show in the beginning of the year. There goes my machine. And pretty much what happened was I lost. I went in that show thinking I'm going to beat everyone. I came dead last, 5th place. Got beaten by a lot of guys that I shouldn't have gotten beat by, guys that I consistently beat afterwards. But going home from that show, placing so much emphasis on the results and that like, I didn't have that confidence at the time, so I was, like, faking and stuff, and I got shattered. And the point is, from that experience, and then I was like, wow, like, that is my time, because I crawled into myself on that stage at that time, and it wasn't a nice showing to look at. It's still on my page and everything as a reminder, so that when I go out, like, bro, you're only there
2 minutes, bro. It's not
a long time.
It's your posing routine, and then mandatory, then you're done.
It's not a long time, man.
So I think just that we also mentioned, me and Nicola spoke about, like, the different kinds of bodybuilders' personalities that you've got your Dorian Yates, which is like a shadow, very quiet, even quiet on stage, but he dominates through his physique and his fucking freak factor. Then you've got somebody like a Phil Heath that is very vocal, that is very much the outgoing type of, I'm going to beat everyone, I'm going to be vocal about it, but then he also does it on stage.
Yeah.
Then you've got the person that kind of, I can't think of somebody, but then you've got the bodybuilder that kind of talks a big game but doesn't deliver on the day. And then you've got someone like a Chris Bumstead, who is, in my opinion, the perfect example for me, that I can relate to the most, and millions of bodybuilders around the world, is the guy that just does the work, is humble, is quiet when he does the work, but the moment he steps on that stage, he flips a switch and it's go time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he really just steps into that championship mentality and championship aura.
Yeah.
He doesn't do extravagant shit on stage. You just know that that's Chris Bumstead and he owns his space. And I think that's my goal, is to own my space, enjoy every moment, and walk off stage, go have a fucking meal, regardless if it's first or last place, and just laugh, have a good time, because I know I enjoyed every single moment up on that stage. And that is the advice that I would give anybody wanting to compete, has competed before, like, because that is in your control. Is that the actual physical placing? That's not in your control.
100%.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, do that.
We'll do that.
Speak it.
Yeah.
It should be that way. Come to my last stitch, right?
Yeah. Session though, right?
That's a very good session.
I mean, yeah, it's like, obviously you're very much full of food, lift heavy weights, nice, life is good at yours on your side.
It's polar opposites.
Literally. Guys, that's gonna be a wrap on today's vlog. Chest and Doubts with Wandi Pumps, the one and only.
In the bull ring.
In the bull ring, yeah. So Wandi is somebody that I really lean on during these kind of times in the prep, just to get me out of my shell, like I spoke about earlier, and really bring out the personality on show day. So stay tuned for that. We're going to bring as much backstage shots as we can, but ultimately the goal is to just focus on delivering on stage. But yeah, man, subscribe, stay tuned. If you guys have any ideas of what you would like to see on the channel, who you would want me to bring on, any ideas, please comment below. Other than that,
like, subscribe, share,
do the works. Remember, a bull never bows, and we are out.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.